Hey everybody, it's good to see you through the camera. It's Saturday, November 16th, and I'm going to review The Beast Within. Oh, well, I got to talk about this case. So, Video Force. Yeah, it's a guy on Instagram. I looked at his page today. Hasn't really been too active anymore, but I'd asked him to make me like a VHS cover for Werewolves on Wheels, because his stuff, it looks great. He charged like $35 for it, which I was like, okay, I'll still do it. I do feel a little dumb paying that much. I could have just made my own, I guess. But he did say pick another one and I'll send it to you for free. So I guess it's like $17.50 that I paid for that and this. But yeah, I just kind of was I should have made my own, because I got the VHS tape at a VHS swap meet here in town, and it had no cover. And I just remember the girl that I bought it from, she was just really not, I don't say rude, but she just did not seem like she wanted to at least have anything to do with me or anybody else. Like, she didn't say, she said how much it cost. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to review 1982's The Beast Within, because, and I was going to review this. This is going to be my Halloween night movie review, and I got so sick. I ate a hamburger that just, oh my God, devastated my insides. It made me so sick. Like the day before Halloween, Halloween day, and the day after, I was just in bed, just suffering and healing. So if you remember all the videos I did for Halloween, that's why I didn't do a last one, because I was dying. It's horrible. But I wanted to do it because my friend Patrick, it's one of his favorite movies, if not his favorite movie of all time. So I was like, well, let me do that. And I know it, like, I've seen it on, I don't know, HBO Showtime, and then on Joe Bob Briggs, or TNT or whatever. They did show it a lot, I remember, actually. And then I got it on VHS a couple of years ago. And for some reason, I mean, first of all, I like it. But it just, it's weird. Like, I love, monster movies are my favorite type of horror movie now. Movies like The Nest, The Bean, Humanoids from the Deep, just werewolf movies. I can't think of anything else. And I really like, and even to be more, like Night Beast, even to be more specific, Aliens. Or has anyone asked? I'm sure people have asked, are aliens monsters? Anyway, I could go on and on about that. And let me know what you think. Like, they're xenomorphs, they're from a different planet, but then, like, they have monsters. But also, specifically, I like a man in a rubber suit. I always hear how that's a bad thing. I think even John Carpenter says, once you see it, like, it sucks. That's why they keep them in the shadows and particular lighting, or they barely show the monster because they don't want to show how cheesy it looks. I like, if it's a halfway decent design, I always like it, unless it looks so bad, and I can't think of a monster movie where the thing looks, so bad offhand. But then to say something like the the Relic, or it's like a big monster, four-legged monster, which that one, the Relic monster, is badass. But I like like a two-layer. Okay, I guess Zat. I like Zat, but yeah, he looks pretty bad. Or Galaxy Invader, but I kind of like the way Galaxy Invader. Anyway, so yeah, that's what The Beast Within is a man in a suit monster movie. Oh yeah, I forgot where I was going. So movies like The Nest, The Bean, Humanoids from the Deep, a little like those movies are like cheesy and fun, kind of funny. The Beast Within is more serious, so I always kind of kept it at a distance from those movies. But now that watching it again, I was like, I wonder what. I'm assuming Pat. Hey Pat, I hope you watch this. I guess maybe he saw it at that time when he was a kid, like I did, like Swamp Thing. I love Swamp Thing because I saw it when I was a kid. And I read reviews where it's not that good. It's just a dumb monster movie. It's not a faithful to the Swamp Thing comics. But I like it. I watch it like regularly. At least like every like maybe like 2-3 times a year I'll throw it on. So maybe he saw it like that. So The Beast Within. Oh yeah, it's directed by Philip Mora, who I looked it up and I was like, he directed Mad Dog Morgan. That was his first, and I think he did this after that. Mad Dog Morgan's a good movie. Then he went on to he made, so like, oh my god, I'm getting so off topic. So like, okay, like Carpenter. You kind of recognize his films just almost from a look. Definitely the music. Tarantino, you can, same thing. Robert Rodriguez, uh, Del Toro. These directors have a style. Philip Mora really didn't. He's just all over the place. Like he directed just so much. He directed Communion, which was I've seen it once. I thought it was a good movie. Then he directed Back in Business with Brian Bosworth and Joe Torre, I think, which I actually found on VHS like last year. It wasn't that good. So he's just done so much stuff. I want to say he did Species 2, but I'm not sure. But Beast Within. It starts out in 1968 or 7, and it's got Ronnie Cox, and they're in Mississippi. Oh my god, I can't remember. And he's with his wife, played by Bibi Besh. She's really pretty, even though she's like older. They miss their exit. He tries to turn around this road and they get stuck. And so he's like, I'm going to go walk to the gas station and get a tow truck, get us out of here, honey. And he's so loving. He gives her a kiss. And they have a dog with him, too, a lab, I think. And he leaves her there. And then while that's going on, you see, like, someone breaking out of a basement in a barn. And you see them, like, skulking through the woods at night. And then they find... Oh, yeah, BB lets the dog out because it kept barking. I wouldn't let the dog out. It could just run away. And it does, and she goes after it. And the dog gets killed. They kill the dog. The dog is the first victim. And then she starts running. And then she runs right into a tree. Like she keeps looking behind her. And turns around and smacks right into a tree. And then this bean skulking in the woods finds her and he rapes her. And it's not totally graphic. It's pretty sick because it's making her bleed while it's assaulting her. And you just see like her torso, like she's prone on the ground. And then she's just like jerking back and forth, and it's really, and he even rips her shirt open. It's really, like I said, it's not too graphic, but it is. It's pretty disturbing. I know a lot of people don't like this scene in it too. So Ronnie Cox comes back. He goes looking for her. He finds her. He's carrying her. She's totally naked. And then it goes to like 17 years later to 1982. And they have a son, Michael. He's developed some condition where they think he's gonna die. And I didn't write BB's name down, or the name of her character. But the doctor's like, we've done tests on both of you. We thought it was genetic. But unless there's something we don't know, we can't really do anything for him. And she brings up, what happened. And just Ronnie Cox, he does not, he doesn't want to hear it. He's all, Michael's my son. So we'll figure this out. We'll take him to Dallas, or I can't remember the other city. But we'll take him somewhere where you can get help. And she's like, we have to go and find out, like, the guy that, attacked me. Maybe it's something with him. And then she's really good and strong about this. Like, the cast is great. And I'll get into that in a minute. So they go to the little town where she was attacked, and they want info on the guy that raped her. Man, I didn't write down that guy's name. But I'll get into the cast for a little bit. Well, yeah, this is written by Tom Holland. Child's Play, Fright Night. This is his first screenplay, based on a book. But I read that the book it's like a novelization. I'm not too sure. Just like this movie. So we get, Ronnie Cox, BB Besh. Mike is played by Paul Clemens. We get Archie Armstrong in here. So, Archie Armstrong from Predator. He's the general, major, whatever, or general that, I don't know. The old man that they meet on when they get out of the helicopter. And I've just always known him as being like mean and always looking the same. He came out in an episode of Andy Griffith, like in the 60s. He looks the same as he does in Predator and in here. I was like, this man was born an old man. But in here he's a doctor and he's nice. But I just don't buy it because I've always seen him like a hard ass, mean old man. He's a good actor, though. LQ Jones, who really, well, he just looks like a cowboy. I know him from Lone Wolf McQuade, and then in Zorro, the Antonio Banderas one. He's in the Wild Bunch. He's just well, he's in a Casino too. Just his look. This whole cast. Luke Askew, who I don't really know, but he's an Easy Rider, and he just has a look. Like, just total character. He's not, like, handsome. He just, got lines and just the face. He just looks so good. Meshach Taylor is in this, who I know from Designing Women, Mannequin. He's really young in here. And then he's in it just a few scenes, but as I was watching it, I was like, how come, I hate to pull the race card, but there's something about him. I was like, how come Meshach never got a movie or his own series? There's, like, you notice him. Like, you see him, and I was like, you want to know, who's that guy? Dennis Johnston. He's always like a side character. He's in 48 Hours. If you remember, he's the guy in the bar where Eddie Murphy, he has a big wad of cash, and Eddie's like, where'd you get this money from? And he's all, tax refund. And then he's all, you're too stupid to do your taxes. And he just looks either like drunk or just like he has mental problems. And in this, he is wacko. Don Gordon, who I don't know him by sight, but he's an exorcist. He's been in tons of stuff, and he was in oh my god, I can't. The movie with Steve McQueen where they're like they have the car chase in San Francisco. But he was in Exorcist 3, and he's great in here. He's again another actor with a great look. Okay, so back to the thing. So they go to the town and they're asking questions about like the guy that assaulted BB. And he's been dead. He died. And like, oh, what happened? He's ripped to pieces. Is it an animal? And well, it was an animal. He set his house on fire. It set his house on fire afterwards. So the local higher ups don't want them, for whatever reason, digging up the past. This story is really confusing and convoluted. So, they left their son in the city they came from, and he has a dream or a vision about the little town, about that barn. And in his dream, he's in the barn, and he's like, I know you're there, and he's looking in the basement door, and it's kind of moving, I think. So he just leaves the hospital and goes. He knows where they are, so he goes to the little town, and immediately he kills the local news reporter news guy. And it's not super gory, but it is bloody. But watching, I was like, it's the first thing he did, and like he does it by he bites the dude's throat, and then right away I was like, he's gonna be covered in blood. Like, how do they not? Like, if anyone sees him, they're like, hey, why are you covered in blood? But he just goes to this house where this girl lives. I didn't write her name down. And her dog has cornered him, and she goes out, and then he passes out. He wakes up in the hospital with his parents there, and they don't address I think they say maybe he scratched himself, but I mean, if you chew someone's throat out, like that did bug me. I was like, you're gonna be drenched and soaked in blood, but that doesn't come up. So what this whole movie is that the guy that raped his mom, Michael's mom, he had an affair with a local guy, and the lady's husband caught them and killed the wife, and then took the guy, Billy, that was his name, Billy Connors, and he locked him in the basement of his barn, and he starved him until he was almost he was just going crazy with hunger. And then he threw the remains of his wife, and he's like, you want her, you can have her now. And which is a really sick, disgusting idea. And Richard Lehman has a book with a scene like this, and I was like, did Richard Lehman kind of take that from this movie? But okay, so he's feeding this guy Kerwin. He's feeding Billy rotted human remains. But it turns him into like a monster, like a bug monster. They say the cicadas. And I read that a lot of stuff was cut out of this movie, like explanation. So yeah, there's a few lines where they say like Billy learns like how to change like the cicadas do. But that's it. They don't explain that. And but not only does Michael, like, since he was born from Billy, not only is he a cicada monster, he's Billy reborn also. So like Billy Connors, like, is reborn through like assaulting this lady and getting her pregnant, having his kid, and then he becomes the kid. Which I thought was pretty frightening, because I was imagining you're like a person, and then your whole mind and body has been invaded and taken over by another person, which they don't really pursue, which could be like a whole another movie, which is a really good idea. But Michael, he knows that he's changing, and towards the end, like, he's all, just kill me. He's on an hour. I'm not gonna be me anymore. And so it's really sad. Like, he's telling his parents, they don't believe him. They just think he's sick. And then he turns into an alien, pretty much. Not a bug. He doesn't look like a bug. He looks like an alien, but he looks cool. And his transformation is awesome. They really, in the trivia on IMDb, they really talk about the bladders like they use in American Werewolf in London and Howling. And I remember seeing this when I was a kid. It scared the crap out of me. There's a part his tongue comes out real far and his eyes are bulging. Looks like his head's gonna explode. But he turns into a monster. And then, he kills some people. Really good, like, head rip off. Yeah, I was really trying to think a lot about this. The actor that plays Michael, Paul Clemens, he is great. He looks he's just like a nerdy, like half nerdy white guy. Very, like, non-threatening, but when he starts getting mad, and his eyes and his voice, everything, he looks like he is scary. Or intense. Really intense. And I was like, man, this guy he did come out in a lot of stuff after this, but nothing I've ever seen. He would have been a good villain, or maybe like I don't know, but he is very effective. He just looks like he's just, like, pulsating with just tension. But then he can be really nice too. So he's really good. He makes the movie, and then just all the actors, even just, well, not they have small roles, but everyone is really good. They're great faces, great voices. The movie is slow for sure. Like, the first hour, I think, like, the first 45 minutes, there's only one kill. But also, it just has that feel of like the Legend of Boggy Creek. Oh my God! Just like it's not a swamp movie, but like the swamps are on the periphery, so it just has a good feel. My VHS, it's pretty, like, smoky and dark looking, but I like it that way. I really don't have much more notes, but I like it. It's yeah, it's not like Evil Dead or Chainsaw, Nightmare on Elm Street. It's very low key, but I guess almost like a 50s sci-fi monster movie, but just updated with sleaze and gore and nastiness, and just a little, not mean-spirited, but just, like, almost unfeeling. Yeah, it has no feeling. Like, it doesn't care. And after watching it, I watched it like the day before Halloween when I got sick. And I watched it today. I don't know what I was gonna, where that's going now. But now I've like, so like all the monster movies are like The Beam, Nest, Humanoids. Now I'm bringing Beast Within into that. It's okay. You can come into the stable, but stay over there. Because yeah, there's like no humor in this. It's not cheesy. It's just like there. And it just like shows you, okay, this is what happened, and it ends. Horrible ending. I mean, not that it's a bad movie, but it just ends, and it just, what happens is like, then what do the parents do now? Like, I don't want to spoil the ending. I was like, this is terrible. Everything that happened, Michael, like, he's gone. I guess, yeah, he's not Michael anymore. Monster looks cool. You do get to see it again, like they say, like dim lighting, quick glimpse. It's got crazy eyes. It almost kind of, it reminds me of like a cross between the minions from The Gate and the Morlocks in the Time Machine remake from like early 2000s. It looks really, really cool. So, Pat, I hope you like my rambling. I'll give it a 4 out of 5 because I know you like it so much. But yeah, I like it a lot more now. It's one that I will go. Yeah, I don't know why. Like, it's always been like an outsider movie for me. But I do remember it like vividly from my youth and being scared avocado-less from it. And if you haven't seen it, it's on Tubi. It looks really good too. So that's The Beast Within. I give it 4 to 5. And I'll see you next time.